Today, I will be discussing the theory of bias blind spots. It is basically when people fail to see the impact of biases affecting their own judgment, but openly recognize how biases affect other people's judgment. Many factors come into play when making a decision. For instance, a person is less likely to disagree with someone they are attracted to than someone they don't find attractive. Although I cannot be persuaded by such unconscious influences, many people are. It is important to understand how unconscious biases can play a main role in our daily decision making. So, after researching this topic, I am definitely more aware of my own biases and how it unconsciously affects my decision making. In order to make people aware of this tendency, they need to see their own decision apart from other people's biases. So we must increase their objectivity when making decisions. This speech will discuss examples of bias blind spots and highlights the importance of awareness to this matter. With brief education, people can overcome host biases in order to make their own decision, despite the prevalent existence of bias blind spots in our everyday life. So, today I will be talking about how bias blind spots exist in the medical field, school systems, and our job interview. So, let's get started. So, Erica McCormick is a PhD student in behavioral decision making, and she does a research where she would determine that physicians have a perception that their colleagues would decide about what medicine to prescribe to people. So, by doing this, they would contact pharmaceutical companies that would provide the gifts, but they would deny their personal decision about what medicine to prescribe, and that would be influenced by any of the gifts. Now that I've talked about my first main point, let's move on to my second. Research demonstrates that biases are very persuasive throughout the education system. So, in 2016, Yale Child Study Team had preschool teachers watch a video and they would look for problem behaviors in four children. A black boy and a girl, a white boy and a girl. So these students actually didn't have any problem, like behavior problems, but instead they wanted to track the teacher's eyes, the eye movement, so they would watch the children in search of problem behaviors. So what I found in my article, it says, although the teachers did not explicitly state a belief that black boys presented with more challenging behaviors, their unconscious biases affected their perceptions of these children. Ashley Ewell analyzed how implicit biases may combat negative perceptions of students with autism and those of color. So, now that I've talked about my second main point, let's move on to my last main point, job interviews. So many of us are often going through job interviews, and many job interviews indicate bias blind spots. This happens when hiring managers often favor candidates who have similar life experiences and values. So it is shown in the article that I have researched that hiring managers make judgments based on their first impressions. So an example would be, she may favor candidates who exhibit strengths in organization and ignore those who don't, and those who have weaknesses in other areas. So those are all my three main points, and next time, look out for 3 of these bias blind spots in our daily life, such as interviews, in school, and in the medical field.